Welcome to another episode of Health and Wellness. I'm your host, Roseanne Green, and this is the part 2 in the series with Patrick Delves, the Master Herbalist. As he shared, as you remember, he shared so many different things about how to help us live a better lifestyle and how to live healthy and longer. And we spoke about in terms of sickle cell anemia and just how to eat better. And right now, on the show, we have Patrick Delves, and he's going to just touch on more issues.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're going to talk about your company.
Natural Mystic.
Natural Mystic.
Yeah, we're the Natural Mystic, 1998. Me, I'm a hotel holder. She's also trained in Chinese medicine, does acupuncture. We created a company called Natural Mystic. And the natural just came from this being just natural in nature, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at Genesis 1:29, God said to us that we should have vegetation for our meat, so He take us back to nature.
Right.
So that's why I use the word natural.
So let's touch on some of the topics that I'm sure a lot of persons are very curious about, is stroke.
Ooh.
I know 30 years ago you
I had
a
one.
mild stroke.
Yeah.
And you, so you're speaking from experience.
Sure.
So tell me about stroke and how can we even prevent persons from having it?
Well, my mother died from one last year. She had two of them, matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
And when she had the first one, I was there. So there was a technique we use when you're getting a stroke. You could prick your ears. It disappears. I'll show you what you prick the ears now, right? And the second time I was not there, so she got a stroke and she became very mute. She couldn't speak and stuff, couldn't walk. And then she died after a couple of months. And we have a lot of young people now
Yes. Yes.
that is
Yeah.
coming on with strokes, man.
Yes.
32-year-old, 35-year-old,
Right.
25-year-old.
Right.
One of the main cause of stroke is hypertension, high blood pressure. If the pressure, they remember there's a number called a systolic number.
Right.
That's when the heart is contracting, and there's a systolic number when the heart is resting. If the systolic number is high, a lot of doctors don't look at the systolic number now.
Right.
If it's like over 180 or 200, that means the heart is pumping the blood through the vessel walls
Right.
too fast. So the blood rushes to the brain, to the carotid artery in your neck,
Right.
go to the brain, and it could cause a vessel in the brain to bulge.
Right.
We call it an aneurysm.
Right.
You get a stroke from that. You could have a lot of plaque also in the brain, the hemorrhage. You get a stroke from that too.
Right.
Also, if you have what we call pulmonary embolism, or you have thrombosis,
Right.
that also could give you a stroke. If there's clots coming into your clotting is good, but if you have because the platelet deal with clotting, the clotting factors, if there is too much clotting now, and the blood it gets to the carotid artery and it can't move, the blood can move to the brain. Lack of oxygen to the brain give you a stroke. So you don't have to have high blood pressure per se
Right.
to get a stroke. It could come from different things.
Right.
It could come from bad circulation. It could come from coronary artery disease. It could come from problems in the congestive heart failure.
Right.
It could also come from high blood pressure and also diabetes. You know, but it's affecting a lot of our young people
Right,
today.
right.
You
And
know,
how
I had
do you
one.
treat it? Yeah, how
Well, I believe in doing the hyperbaric chamber therapy, where they put you in a hyperbaric chamber, and it sends oxygen back to the spinal column, and then it increases what we call the cerebrospinal fluid
Right.
that goes back to the brain and increases back the cells.
Right.
That works well.
Okay.
But we have a couple stroke patients that we're treating now that didn't lose the intellectual, meaning that they could speak.
Right.
When you lose that, it's tough to get it back.
Okay.
But if you're losing some movements of the hand, because if you have the stroke on the right side, it affects the left side. If it's on the left side, it affects the right side. So we do a lot of acupuncture treatments,
Right.
and we do a lot of physiotherapy.
Right.
The seawater is very good for that too.
Okay.
Going to the sea and then doing massaging, and then using herbs and supplements to help to push back the oxygen circulation to the brain.
Right.
And that helps a lot of my patients, which to because I had one.
Right.
So I could
Right.
tell you about
So-
it. Can't speak.
That's what I said. You're
I want to
talking-
say rose and I can't say rose. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
So, you know, it's significant for us to educate our people that
Right.
we have to keep the heart healthy.
Exactly.
And we have to keep the circulatory system moving well. You know, we can't slow it up.
Right.
Because if you look at the blood moving, you get dizzy.
Right.
You get, because it moves so quick.
Right.
If you slow it up, lots of things happen that's bad.
Wow.
You know, either you get troubles in your heart, you get impotence, you get some kind of problem because
Right.
the blood is not moving well. So the key is to keep the blood moving well to the coronary artery, and then you will prevent yourself from getting a stroke.
Right.
And don't get hypertension or diabetes
Right.
or thrombosis or pulmonary embolism.
I know you have a step-by-step process in terms of, because high blood pressure is something that's affecting so many different
Lots of people.
And as you said, age younger people.
Yeah, they get
younger
it.
people
Yeah.
having high blood pressure.
Yeah.
But you spoke specifically about in terms of numbers. Talk to me about the different numbers in terms of what's the perfect number.
Well, let's say the perfect number is 120 over 80. So start at 120, that's start at 80.
Right.
I say 100
Okay.
over 70.
Okay.
That's where you should be. Because the numbers are important. A lot of the times, you know, we don't take heed and we say, well, we talk about high blood pressure come from genes. That's not true. It's what we call a genetic predisposition
Wow.
of the disease. So if your mom have high blood pressure and you will eat the same way your mom been eating, you're going to get it eventually.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you deter
Right.
from what your mom been eating,
Exactly.
you don't get. That's what I'm saying.
Because a lot of persons are suffering from high
Yeah.
blood pressure.
So I have a machine, so I check my pressure twice per day, and I don't have it,
Right.
but I check it to make sure that my pulse is well, my heart is beating properly. I don't have no irregular heartbeat. We call arrhythmia in the medical system.
Right.
We don't have that. So I check, and I don't have it. I check my sugar 4 times per day. I don't have diabetes, but I check to see where I'm at. So I know if I am at a particular number,
Right.
I don't do certain things.
Right.
You know, if your number is 150 in terms of milligram deciliter in your sugar level, you don't want to eat a whole set of sugars.
Right.
You're going to go higher.
Right.
So I try to keep my sugar level between 70 and 90 in the morning. And if I eat something that's sweet, it's supposed to go up to 140 and come back down, not 200.
Okay.
200 is too much.
How's the best way to check your pressure though? How,
Well, the pulse. We have a machine over here. I don't believe in the digital machines. They give you wrong reading.
really?
And I've been making China even worse.
Oh wow.
So I use the older kind.
And we're gonna show
Yeah.
our viewers
Yeah,
what exactly that machine is.
That's the one I use.
So, and then you can bring it.
Yeah.
So
This is the one.
this is
Yeah, this is the one I use. This one
Okay.
is the old time one. You know, that's what it is. And so we're looking at.
I remember this so
There
much.
you go. I'm saying. That's what it is.
In the hospital, you don't
Yeah.
get this.
Now you don't get it
They don't
again,
get
man.
this.
You know, but we the old
Yeah.
school, so we
Yes,
keep it this way.
yes.
So, but what this one will do is check your pulse.
Okay.
So what I do is in our medicine we look at the pulse and we could give it 3 different beats of the pulse. Where the medical system give you 1 beat, 60 beats per minute. See, we could say if you have a deep pulse, weak pulse, hard pulse, dumb pulse,
Right.
and then we could tell you what's going on with the heart from the pulse beat
Okay.
by just touching the
Right.
pulse right here
And it would be the left hand because it's closer to the heart.
to the heart.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're very smart.
I didn't know this. So you get a better reading.
A better reading, yes,
Correct.
yes,
You
yes,
get a
to
better
that, yeah,
reading.
to
So
that, yeah.
it's good for persons to not just wait until you go to the hospital
No,
and you're
no.
suffering from a high blood pressure,
No.
but you need to do it yourself.
Yes, I
to
always
make
tell my
sure.
patients when they have diabetes or they have hypertension, I said, do you have a machine? No, get one.
Right.
Because you'll never ever know how your pressure or sugar is at
Right.
if you don't get a machine.
And what are some of the stuff that you give persons to help with the heart? Because I know a lot of persons really bad already.
Well, if you have, there is, in the medical system, they call it mild to moderate hypertension. That's 140 over 100, 140 over 90. Don't take no drugs for that because that can be naturally fixed by using supplementation.
Interesting.
Severe hypertension is 180, 200 over 110.
Right.
That's severe hypertension. Some people, we will keep them on their medication for a while, and then we work with a cardiologist, because my nephew is one.
Okay.
And we work with a cardiologist who will help us in natural medicine to wean the patient of that particular drug over time if they have severe hypertension.
Right.
Magnesium is one of the most important mineral for the heart, for the heart muscle.
Right.
If you have any kind of thing like arrhythmia or irregular heartbeat,
Right.
magnesium you're lacking there. If you have mitral valve prolapse, you're lacking in magnesium.
Right.
If you have high blood pressure, the top number is high, magnesium.
Wow.
And CoQ10.
Right.
And L-taurine.
Right.
And L-carnitine. I could name a lot of them. And hortenberries. And it's a lot of them.
Wow, wow.
Because God put them on the earth for us to use.
Right.
There is a herb for every single disease that we have.
That is true. That is
God
true.
put it there. If we constipated, cascara sagrada. Heart troubles, hortenberries. Lymphatic system troubles, cleavers. Sinuses, golden seal. Or horseradish, they're there. Eye troubles, lycium fruit. They're there.
Hi, I'm T. Billy Martin from Women Are Talking TV, and right now you're watching Health and Wellness with Roseanne Green.
Today we're going to share with you some helpful tips of how to juice well. And on the show with me is Maya Chambers. She's also the owner of Maya Goddess Juices, and she is also a nutrition coach. Welcome to the show. Hi. Welcome to the show. We had you on before.
Yes.
And you shared with us your story, your backstory behind why you started juicing, and you're also a vegan, which is awesome. Today we're going to just go through some of the helpful tips of how to juice properly and also the different juices that you have. But first, let's talk a little bit about how important is juicing.
Well, juicing for me is important because it helps to bring back any nutrients or vitamins, antioxidants, enzymes, minerals that are not in the foods that I'm eating or with a busy schedule. For me, it's important to also educate that to people daily because New Yorkers tend to be very busy on the go and certain things are missing or lacking in their diet. So juicing is an awesome way to replenish and put those essential vitamins back into your body. But every juice is not the same, which is also very important. The juices I make are raw, organic. They're also made in a blender, which they still retain the fiber. Some juice places also contain a lot of sugar. Sometimes the fruit that they're using is actually frozen, and that has a little bit more ingredients that aren't so harmful, but for sugar, you know, you can also have like a crash midday. So these juices are literally raw food in a bottle. So it's a meal replacement, or it's, you know, it's also adding, excuse me, to your busy day.
Do you recommend that we have juices with a meal, or what is the complement there that we need to have?
I think for anything, like, you know how they say don't drink while you're eating so your food can break down properly. The same goes for juicing. Even though it's greens and you're eating a salad and you think, oh, there's not a huge difference, you do want to give your system a break. You want it to break down the foods, you want it to do it properly, and then I would either have the juice before or after.
What's the best time to juice, though? What's the best time?
For me, in the morning, what works best for me, and everyone's different. You know, when I talk to my clients and even customers for the juicing, I try to figure out their schedule and when's a good time for them, or when's a time for them to actually relax in their day. Because when you do have a juice, you don't want to have it while you're anxious or you're busy. You want to actually sit down and be able to enjoy and be in a nice state of mind. So for me, when I wake up, I like to have warm water with lemon. Then I meditate, so I'm grounded and I'm a lot more present and conscious. And then, you know, depending if I have a meeting or if I have to do phone calls or emails, I will have a juice. I can have a smoothie if I'm on the go, because that's more like a breakfast. The smoothies are also a little thicker. So I also feel a little more full, like, you know, that I can, you know, that I've eaten something.
Why warm water with lemon, though, for the first thing? Why?
That actually detoxifies my system. It cleans out my liver, anything that's kind of left from last night or anything that I ate. It kind of starts the process of drinking the juice, and it helps me start my day as well.
So we're now going to share with you guys some of the stuff that Maya's going to do for you, and I'm going to be the one to taste them. I'm very honest. I'll tell you.
Like last time?
Yes, if it tastes
the green
good.
Juice was a challenge for Rose, but
yes,
it was good.
But for me, there was a challenge in terms of green. I don't like greens.
And that's most people.
And I'm being honest about it. I don't like greens, but I won't have it as a vegetable. I'll just juice it. And I like that because for that, it's easier for me to do the juicing than eating
that's
it.
That's most people too. But I think when they think of greens, they think it's going to taste like grass. And there's a lot of fruits that you can use. Yes, wheatgrass, barley grass can. But if you add certain fruits that are very flavorful, that are sweet, and that's all that you need is one fruit, it can help with the taste.
So what's the first?
Okay, so this is a really great basic one. This is really good for enzymes. It alkalines the body. Sometimes we're too acidic. If we're having too many citrus fruits, they actually linger in our digestive system. It does. So this is really good because it cleans you out and it gives you the good balance that you need. I think with juicing too, it brings back the balance, and we all need balance. So parsley is really good for cleansing. Green lime,
Yeah.
well, I was going to say green lemon, but no, it's lime, is really good as well. It's high in
For persons
alkalizing.
who, I know it in terms of alkalizing, but for persons who trouble from acid reflux, how much would you recommend a certain level of lemon or lime that they should use?
Well, lime is high in alkaline, so that would bring back the balance. I would stay away from lemon and then use the lime.
Okay.
Apple cider vinegar is really good, so I don't know if you want to incorporate that into the juice too.
You know, for me, I don't like
No?
vinegar. No, but
Okay.
let's
Well, this is a good, this is
yeah,
a
I'm
good
excited.
basic one too.
Let's blend some of these and see how it comes out.
And then kale is your super green.
Okay.
Kale I use in everything, and it's my meat substitute as well, being a vegan. It's very high in protein, vitamins, and minerals.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're on the go, or let's say you're a mom, a dad, you know, and you just want a juice that's going to take less than literally 10 minutes, these are also mixed greens.
Okay.
I get my greens sometimes from the farmer's market. There's a really nice one in Fort Greene, or you can go to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. I do recommend organic, but, you know, if you're on the budget, you know, there's certain things like cucumbers to get organic because of the skin, but if you don't have organic, make sure you peel the skin off. And then I'm just going to squeeze this. Usually I cut the skin off, but we can just squeeze it in.
Okay.
And I think, too, I get questions all the time regarding like a NutriBullet. And I think people tend to put too much. So we put mixed greens, which is arugula, spinach. We have parsley, we have kale, we have cucumbers, we have lime. You can also put a green apple or pineapple. I don't use a lot of fruit, especially with my green juices.
Right.
And then that's it.
Because there are certain fruits that you're not supposed to mix with your vegetables.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Like this is the berry antioxidant berry juice. I wouldn't add a berry juice with citrus.
Exactly.
You know, it can cause bloating. It can actually not do damage, but it won't give you the vitamins that you need and the energy that you need.
Okay.
This is really good for energy.
Yes, I'm ready.
Isn't the color gorgeous?
I'm gonna be honest, very honest. But
Okay,
what if
but
I didn't want to use water though? Could I use
you know
coconut water?
Yes, I actually use coconut water.
Because I like sugar.
Yes, and I mean this is a green juice, so there's no fruit. So
interesting taste, not bad, and the citrus helps.
yes. With a lime, but keep in mind if you do like sugar, I would recommend pineapple, high in enzymes. It'll give you a great sweet flavor, not overpowering, and then it's a good balance to the green juice. But this is an all green juice. I think you'll like the berry. So this
I'm not a greens person, but it's healthy. It's healthy, and I recommend that you do what's healthy.
Yes. Sometimes it's not always about taste. We get a little. We get a little confused because there's so many things that is on the market that is high in sugar, that has preservatives.
No, this is really good.
Yes. So this is from my juice line. This is raspberry, blackberry, blueberries, goya berries, and sometimes I'll use cranberry as well.
So this is all berries?
This is all berries,
yeah. And the thing is with berries, it gives you that nice tangy taste to it. It's just...
And you still have the fiber, you have the berries, and it's also important.
There's no sugar.
No.
This is amazing, though. There's no sugar.
And it's important to chew the seeds, too. So that's why I keep the seeds in there.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
The seeds have they're very, very high in vitamins.
I don't like that thing in it, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Before we go, in terms of berries, and is there a particular season for certain fruits or certain vegetables, or it's just a generic type of way to juice?
That's a good question. For me, I think we have to eat based on our genetic makeup. There are some things that to be conscious, to be socially conscious and environmentally conscious, it is important to buy things that are in season. because it has less travel, carbon print, and it's also nice to support local farmers markets because it keeps them in business, and we're such a small community. But yes, you know, I believe in having certain foods, you know, that also are based on your genetic makeup. If you're from the islands, you know, your body can break them down much easily. So if you want a pineapple, even though it's not in season, I think it's okay. Watermelon, I had a watermelon juice this morning. Watermelon's not in season, but, you know, there was things that I felt that I needed that water-based fruit.
Right. And in terms of your line, what's the best juice that you have customers ordering? Like, I need this the most, the berry. The green juice, actually. The green juice, I have pear in it, so it's a nice sweet taste. And the citrus immune booster. And the juices are right now at Sacred Brooklyn in Brooklyn. It's a yoga center, which I'm excited about. And a few other places. That's awesome.
My goal is to provide balance to someone and not take something away where they feel, you know, overwhelmed and uncomfortable. For me, you know, I like to eat raw foods, but I'm also very mindful of warm foods in the wintertime, lots of lentil soups. Being Afro-Latina, you know, also having rice and beans, but make sure I make
rice.
Yes. But I do my sprouted, and I like quinoa, so I'll replace it with quinoa, brown rice. But I still love my beans, my black beans. You know, my dad's Cuban, mom's Puerto Rican. So I grew up on that food, so it's very still important for me to have it, just in a healthier way.
Wow, wow. And I'm sure you're coming out with a book, likewise, juice book. Yes, we're just giving a hint. You're coming out with a book. Just tell us in terms of where persons can, if they need more information right now, where can they contact you?
Awesome. And yes, I'm excited about the book of Rose Health. But yes, I'm on Instagram. Website is under construction. You can also email me at mayagoddessjuices.com. And that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. It was awesome having you on the show. Yes. It was fabulous. You always make me drink green juice and love it. So, and the berry is, trust me, the berry is good.
Yeah, that's the
berry
best.
is really, really, really good. Thank you so much, Maya, for being on the show. On the other side of this break, after this break, we're going to share with you, we have Patrick Delves, and we showed you his episode earlier, but by popular demand, you wanted a little bit more. So we're going to share with you just the second half of his discussion of different illnesses and how you can naturally cure illnesses. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Alfonso Severos from Second Saturday. Right now you are watching Health and Wellness with Rose and Green.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Health and Wellness. This is our last segment and our last part in the series with our Master Herbalist Patrick Delves. And right now we're going to talk about in terms of diabetes.
Yeah.
That's a master killer
Killer.
for people.
Killer in the Caribbean.
That's a master killer. How we eat. Sometimes persons said, oh, you inherited from your mother, you inherited from your dad.
Yeah.
But we're not taught in terms of what we eat is who we are. So talk to us a little bit about
you know, in the Caribbean, it's full of diabetes. Indian have it a lot too. Indian people have a lot of diabetes too. And it is a preventable disease.
Right.
But
especially type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, but it is a complex disease. So you have to know what it is. You have to know either you have insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
Because there are two of them, a few of them well. So if you're insulin sensitivity, you could eat 2 slices of bread. I eat 1 slice of bread, your sugar stays normal, my sugar goes up.
Wow.
That's insulin sensitivity.
Right.
If it's insulin resistance now, if you're overweight, you get insulin resistance, whereby you're producing insulin from the endocrine part of the pancreas now, but the receptors which receive the messages of the hormone called insulin is clogged up.
Wow.
So the insulin can go in like a key, open the door for the sugar to go in, you get diabetes from that.
Right.
If you lose the weight, you fix it.
Right.
That's the cause of it now.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Wow.
Another cause of diabetes, a lot of people, they eat a lot of acid foods together. So they change the pH of the pancreatic secretion from 8.0 to 5.0. Your pancreas is going to function there in terms of the exocrine part of the pancreas, because the exocrine part of the pancreas produces enzymes.
Right.
See? If the pH changes and it gets into an acid terrain, because your pancreas produces alkaline enzymes now, then what happens to the pancreas, the exocrine part of it, you burn it up, because it works in an acid system, but it works slower.
Right.
So it burns up the pancreas. So long term of you keeping that pH in that secretion of the pancreas at 5.0, your pancreas has to produce enzyme like crazy, too much of it, and it burns it up.
Right.
When you reach 30 years of age now, diabetes steps in.
Wow.
So you have to look at all these conditions that create a havoc of giving you diabetes long term.
Right.
So we look at feeding the pancreas enzyme, because once we pass the age of 50, we don't produce 60% of the enzymes in our body.
Right.
So we need to eat foods that have it.
Right.
Lots of greens. There's a product called GTF Chromium that I give my patients. Wonderful. They come off their medication like that. Then I feed them enzymes.
Wow.
Then I feed them Jiminy sylvestre. And I feed them gentian. And I feed them all the herbs, cinnamon, that help the beta cells to utilize insulin properly. And then we said to them, no sugars in the morning, because your pancreas do not function in the morning. Only between the hours of 11 and 5. And then they start to go to sleep to regenerate.
Okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying? Because your liver regenerates between 1 and 3, your kidneys between 3 and 4:30, and your pancreas between 1 and 3. So in the morning when you eat a lot of sugars now, you're killing your pancreas.
Wow.
Because it's just rising.
Right.
See? At 11 o'clock it's at peak, it's at the work.
Right.
So you can't use sugars in the morning. That's why I said to my people in the Caribbean, do not use sugars in the morning. Don't use fruits in the morning. Use fruits and fats and carbohydrates between the hours of 12, 11 and 5 in the evening when the temperature is hot, so you could burn it up, because sugar goes up and out. Salt go down and in. And in that way, you follow that principle and come off the starches, the refined carbohydrates now. Not the complex one, the refined one, you will see the sugar start to go. And you fix diabetes. I want to use the word repair diabetes.
Right, repair.
Fix.
Because a lot of persons say repair diabetes, but you touch on a very interesting issue in terms of getting up in the morning and then not having sugar. Because a lot of persons, when they get up, they're like, okay, I want to have just a little bit of tea and put sugar in it.
Right.
You're saying probably have a glass of water.
Yeah.
Or just...
With a lime in there.
Okay.
Squeeze the lime in the water.
Okay.
And a pinch of cayenne pepper.
Okay.
And a pinch of bentonite clay with a piece of ginger and a piece of cinnamon. You can never get diabetes.
Wow.
Because what that does, it increases circulation and it moves all the debris from the night before that is settled in your stomach. It moves it out and prepares the stomach for food. And in that way, your pancreas will function better there, because cinnamon is there to help the beta cells to utilize your insulin properly.
Wow.
So simple, man.
Talk.
We must give the Most High the glory, yeah?
Always,
All the
always,
time.
always.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. And with, like our viewers, they enjoy both episodes with you, because you gave us so many information that we can go out and live a better life.
Buy the truth and sell it now.
Yes, yes. And live healthier. So thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
with us. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
inviting me.
sharing so
Blessed
many
love.
different information that can help our people.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Thank you to Maya for being on the show, and also thank you our viewers for always sticking and staying with us. I hope you learned something today. Stay well.